In this video, I'll talk about hue and saturation adjustment layers. So here I have a graphic. It has two buttons, and the first one, and you can figure out which is which by hiding the layer and seeing which one disappears. So if I hide that one, you can see that the top purple button disappears. So this is my vertical one, the purple one, and the bottom one must be my vertical copy. Now if I take a quick look at the vertical button, you can see it's made up of several layers. They have a base color of purple, but they have different gradient layer styles applied to give different effects. Now if I look at the vertical copy, and I'm just going to expand this, they have the base color again. Now if we take a look at the gradient effect, let's double click on the gradient overlay, you can see it's still purple. So why is it showing up green? Well, one clue is that there is a hue and saturation adjustment layer on top of these layers, and it has a layer mask, a vector shape mask applied so that it only affects this button area. One tip that you can use is to turn off layer mask. You can hold the shift key down and then click the layer mask. So when I do that, that means that there's no layer mask there. The effect is applying to the entire document, and so you can see that the top button became green as well. Now I can hold shift, click this again, and now it's again the layer mask applies only to this. So the way hue and saturation adjustment layers work is you can add them by clicking on this button and then choosing hue saturation, and that will create a new layer and allow you to change the settings. And what they do, I'm going to double click on the thumbnail patch, is they allow you to kind of play with the colors of the document. So I can move this around, and you can notice that the button color is changing as I move it around. Now if I have a value of 0 for the hue, that means that there are no changes being made. So I can just move this over more. You can see kind of how the colors of the rainbow match up with each other as you go back and forth. Now you can also adjust the saturation, and the saturation is how vivid a color looks. So I can increase the saturation to make the colors really vivid, or I can decrease the saturation to sort of make it look more subtle or more washed out. And if I drag it all the way to the left, it actually becomes black and white or grayscale. And similarly, you can change with the lightness. The lightness will make it brighter, all the way up to white, or darker, all the way to black. So with the adjustment layer, the reason why you would use adjustment layers is they allow you to make changes without actually changing the pixels of a layer. So that can be really useful if you decide you want to change your mind later. You can turn off the hue and saturation layer. You can modify it. It doesn't actually modify or change any pixels. One phrase that we use for this type of editing is it's non-destructive. It doesn't destroy or modify any actual pixels of the document. It just overlays things on top that will help you to adjust it.